All right, everybody, welcome to our next question. We are officially jumping into not just our rotation section. We will talk about how to rotate our rigid figures, but we're also talking about transformations where we're actually combining multiple rigid motions in one swoop. So let's break down this question, and when we get to the rotation section, we'll take a quick pause and remind ourselves how to rotate, kind of using the two question step that I like to use when I rotate our figures. All right, so we have triangle ABC, and that has its vertices located at A, comma, -3, comma, -2, or left 3, down 2. B is located at 1, comma, -3, or right 1, down 3. Again, this is talking from the origin point. And C is located to 6. Of course, that's right 2, up 6 on our graph. We need to graph the pre-image and the image after the triangle is translated by the vector -2, comma, -1, or left 2, down 1, and then rotated 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. So we have a couple of steps here. One, we're going to plot our pre-image, our triangle ABC. Then our step 2 is we're going to create triangle A prime, B prime, C prime by moving our shifting, sliding, translating our pre-image by that vector, which again, it tells me how far and which direction we are moving our triangle. Then we are going to finally do our last step, which will take that triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. And that's the three things we need to do in order to answer this question. So again, let's start with translation, which you all are of course. Let's start with plotting that pre-image. Now, I'm sure you were already taking care of business while I was going through that question. So yes, of course, you should have this on your graph paper. Again, A located left 3, down 2. B, right 1, down 3. And of course, C located right 2, up 6. Now we're going to go ahead, take a check. We took care of step 1, plotting our pre-image. And now let's go and translate. Let's shift, let's slide. Let's do step 2 by taking triangle ABC, our pre-image, and moving it. How far? Well, what does the vector caret, this is how I know it's a how far, which way, because of that punctuation, that's a caret. -2, comma, -1, what does that mean? That's right. You've already started to do that on your paper, I know. It means we're going to travel left 2, down 1 to create A prime, B prime, C prime. So from here, we can literally just count left 1, 2, down 1, and plot our A prime. Same with B, going left 2, down 1 to plot that B prime point. And of course, I know you've already taken care of this step, but traveling 1, 2 to the left and down 1 to plot C prime. Of course, you can always use algebra as well by subtracting 2 to our x values and subtracting 1 to all of our y's. But there you go. That's exactly how it should look on your paper because, again, translation, that vector notation, tells me we took our triangle and we shifted it to right and down 1. Now these are our coordinate points we need to do. We're going to actually check off step 2. We took care of business there. But now we need to collect our points for A prime, B prime, and C prime because those are the things we need to use in order to rotate. So rotation is a little bit different than translation. It's also different than a reflection as well, where in order to rotate, we're kind of asking ourselves two questions. How far, and that's how many turns or how many degrees we're traveling, whether it's one turn at 90 degrees, two turns, 180 degrees, three turns, 270 degrees. Of course, all the way around would be 360. Or the second question we need to ask ourselves, is in which direction? Clockwise, where we're traveling like a clock, so turning to the right. So turning one turn 90 degrees clockwise, 180 degrees, 270 degrees going clockwise, and then 360. And then counterclockwise, we're turning in the opposite direction of clock. So one turn would be 90 degrees counterclockwise, 180 degrees, 270 degrees counterclockwise, and then we're turning 360 degrees. The reason I break it up into two questions because we have to ask ourselves, are we going to switch the X and Y? And which side are we going to flip direction? And we'll talk about that as we do this question, specifically with the 90 degrees clockwise. So again, here is our A prime. It's located now at -5 down 3. Our B prime, which is located left 1 down 4. And our C prime, which is located at 0 up 5. Now we're going to use these 3 points. So we are turning in the clockwise direction, meaning we are traveling like a clock. So the first question is, do I swap the X and Y point? So here's how I like to remember it. Yes, no, yes, no. Yes, I swap X and Y. No, I don't. Yes, I switch X and Y. No, I don't. So the first question is, since I'm turning one turn clockwise, yes, I'm going to step 1, switch my X and Y. Meaning my first step is I'm going to put -3 for my X and -5 for my Y. Because I'm going to swap X and Y, because that's how we rotate. The second step is, which side do I change direction? If I point to the right side, I will swap the right direction, meaning if it's a positive, it becomes negative. If it's negative, it becomes positive. If I'm pointing down, I will switch both, the left and the right. So I will swap both. If I'm pointing to the left-hand side, I will switch the direction of the number on the left. So if it's a negative number, I will switch direction to positive. If it's a positive number, I will switch it to a negative. And if it's pointing up, I keep the numbers exactly the same. So if I'm turning 90 degrees clockwise, I'm going here. So yes, I'm going to switch X and Y, and I flip direction on the right side. So again, we switched X and Y, -3, -5, and since I'm pointing to the right, I'm going to switch the right number. So again, let's look here. We have our next point, -1, -4. So again, we're turning in the same amount, in the same direction. So yes, I switch X and Y. So swap X and Y, -4, -1. And now we're pointing to the right. We're switching direction of the right-hand side. Again, do I switch X and Y? Yes. And I'm changing direction of the right-hand side. Now 0 stays 0 because 0 is both positive and negative. So again, this is going to be my A prime prime, B prime prime, C prime prime. Following the pattern. Yes, I switch X and Y. No, I don't. Yes, I switch X and Y. No, I don't. Flip direction to the one on the right. Flip direction to both. Flip direction to the one on the left. Leave them both alone. And that's the rotation rules. So just to review real quick, we started with our pre-image triangle ABC, and A was located at -3, -2. B was located at 1, 3. C was located at 2, 6. We then have our A prime, B prime, C prime by translating. Again, we traveled left 2, down 1, or we subtracted 2 to our x, subtracted 1 to our y, and that's how we got our -5, -3, -1, -4, and 0, 5. Finally, we took care of our last step and we rotated to get A prime, prime, B prime, prime, C prime, prime. Again, we rotated 90 degrees to the clockwise to the right. So yes, we switched X and Y, changing direction on the right-hand side. And that's just following our rotation rules. And again, you have our 3 triangles to kind of see how they transformed right there. Awesome job.